So I arrived yesterday on an afternoon flight, so I got here about 5 o'clock. I'm up above Paro at the Six Senses. I think it's about 2,600 metres. The air's quite thin, so feeling a little bit out of breath, and woke nice and early after a really good night's sleep. I'm filling up on really good stuff. Granola, omelette, coffee, and some nice freshly squeezed orange juice. And I'm going to climb Tiger's Nest this morning at 6:30. So this should send me on my way. Anyway, I'll let you know how I get on later on. Bye. I'm almost there. Tiger's Nest is within reach. I've nearly done it. It's probably about 10 o'clock in the morning and we set off about 7 o'clock or something. The views are, it's pretty cloudy, but it keeps clearing, which is just really beautiful because it just keeps being really sort of mysterious, and then it will open up again, which is stunning. So we're really, really close. Having a very well-deserved cup of tea and I've had a soak. Now I'm looking at the sunset, reading a chapter of my book before I get a very early night. This morning I met Kempu Funchatashi, who is a very high-ranking monk here in Bhutan. I met him and we talked about mindfulness, awareness, how to get that, how to achieve that. And because he's lived all over the world, it was very easy to have those conversations because he understood the limitations, and I came out of it with very easy, achievable goals. So just 1 minute, like 60 seconds, anywhere. It doesn't need to be anywhere profound, but just being aware of my breath. And although I don't have much breath at the moment, being aware of breath and yeah, it doesn't have to be long. Like I always thought everybody's meditating and like for hours, and you know, it's totally unachievable for me as a working mum and in a busy lifestyle. You know, how was I ever going to do that? Although I wanted to do it, I just didn't see how it was going to work. So just having, like, it was almost like acceptance. It was almost like, yeah, he's going like, it's okay, just do it for a minute and that's enough. That's all you need. And then you can work on that. Like when you've got more time, work on it if you want. Very chilled, very quirky guy, really funny. And yeah, loads of stories. I mean, it would have been ace to video him, but I didn't feel right videoing him. And I asked him some, you know, personal questions about what it was to leave his mum when he was 8, and he was very open about that. And now he lives with his mum. He's 72 and she's in her 90s, which is incredible. And he takes photos of people he spends time with because she wants to know where he's been every day. And he was a really cool guy, really cool, really gentle, peaceful, funny, full of stories, like I said. And I'm really glad I met him this morning. So I just checked into Six Senses Gangte, and this is the view. Absolutely incredible. It's kind of alpine. I feel a little bit like I'm in Switzerland. And just down there in the valley is where you normally would see, in the season sort of October, November, is where you'd see the black-necked cranes. And from my room, I've got a huge telescope that I can spot them with. And apparently it's it's quite common to see them just flying through this valley, which must be absolutely incredible in the season. So it's sort of August time now, so obviously not seeing anything, but yeah, what a view. What a welcome to Gangte. I've just waken up, I'm in Gangte, and I just thought I'd open my blinds with you this morning so you can see my view, so my first view of the day. It is warm. We're going for a walk today from this kind of valley over here all the way along to a little temple which is about there. Just after lunch we're doing that, and then coming home.
Up early in the morning by 4:45. 4:45 is going to be washing their face, waking up and like getting awake. In fact. Then from 5 o'clock, every station is going to start. But she's telling the younger ones, which is in the grade 1, because in a monastic community, we have a Jirim and Shedra. So Shedra is like a university. Now the Shedra mo, Jirim mo, Lobda. So basically, they're into a primary education and the higher secondary school education. So they're starting from 5 o'clock, in fact.
Okay, so we're walking through Pubjika Valley, just a little nature walk from Six Senses Hotel, which is somewhere kind of behind us over there. And we're walking through villages and farmlands, and most of these people are, if you can see them behind there, farming potatoes. So this is the time, the season that they're pulling them up, kind of back-breaking work, and it's wet at the moment, so it's really muddy. And then they're carrying huge baskets on their backs back to the farmhouses. Behind me, some of the potato farmers. There's only 2 in this field, but further around the valley, when we were passing earlier to the nunnery, there was like a whole community out picking the potatoes, so it's a bit more of an effort than a sort of community effort than these 2 poor guys that are in the rain and the mud picking the last bits of the potatoes. We walk through the valley, we're getting greeted by masala chai. You can just see everyone just there waiting for us. How cute is that? Just arrived here at Punakha, Six Senses Punakha. It's about 1,800 metres, so it's quite warm, and there's a very inviting swimming pool there with just below the flying farmhouse, as they call it. But I'm going on a trek up to the top of the monastery soon, in a few hours. Just going across a very, very rickety suspension bridge over quite a fast flowing river. So it's taken us about an hour to get to the top of a hill. It's very, very hot. We've just come to the temple, and walking right up to the top of the temple there's a viewpoint. So I'm just about to take you up there if you'd like to join me. Down in this valley we've got paddy fields, little farming houses. We've got the river where we started over here, and the bridge that we came along, the little suspension bridge. It's really nice and cool up here. Absolutely amazing views.
This is a little bit bitterness compared to other beer. So we can toast and have these ones.
Cheers. 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 Happy Tuesday. Right? You might ask why I'm in Bhutan in August. Well, I didn't have a choice. These were the dates, and I jumped at it. But I was a bit apprehensive, I have to say. I didn't know what the weather was going to be like, so packed a huge suitcase full of things for cold weather, wet weather, warm weather. Reports were of all varying degrees. So far, Punakha has been the warmest, but in terms of rain, which is probably what most people are concerned about in August, hasn't hindered anything. In fact, those showers I'm quite used to, being a Brit. But I just think the sky looks really dramatic, and yeah, we haven't got like views over to far-reaching Himalayan peaks, but for me, this is enough. I don't need anything else. What I've come for is the people, the scenery, and to just understand a little bit more about Bhutanese culture. And actually, that's so much easier when there's nobody else around. So I've been here now for 7 days and haven't seen one other tourist, not one. I went up to Tiger's Nest, and yeah, there were tourists from Asia, but there was nobody from the UK, nobody from the West, and you know, there were parts where I was just walking completely with no one else around. And I have heard that, you know, when you get to the top of the Tiger's Nest with all those temples up there, I spent about an hour up there. A lot of the time you're sharing that, waiting for other people to come out the temple before you can go inside. It's really probably not busy in terms of how we would expect some countries in Asia to be, not as busy as you know, some sites in India perhaps, but still busy. So I feel incredibly lucky that I've managed to get most of these places to myself. You know, even that pool I had completely to myself. You know, walking is pretty tough when it's really hot, but you set off early in the morning and you take it steady. And for example, in Gangte Valley, which is where we've just come from, you're in a glacial bowl, and you know, a lot of the walks are through forested areas where it's really nice and cool. And then the breeze at this time of year is really welcoming, and just, yeah, it's just peaceful, really, really peaceful. I've had the most incredible time. I wish there were other words to describe it. The Bhutanese are helpful beyond belief. They are humble, very intelligent, kind, gentle, just calm. It's probably the most calm I've felt in a really long time, and I don't want to go home. Well, I do. I want to see my family, but I wish I could take all of this and take it with me. I feel very honoured to have been able to come here. And I really, really can't wait to start introducing more people, the right people, but introducing people to Bhutan and letting them see what I've been so lucky to experience. You know, and if I can bring my family back here one day, I would love to do that. It's an incredible destination that I kind of want to keep a secret, but I also want other people to experience this. So I'll be choosing wisely about who I tell. So I'm leaving Bhutan today, and as you might be able to see, I have got tears in my eyes and very mixed feelings about leaving. I want to go home because I want to see my family, but I just want to get lost here forever. It's a very beautiful in so many ways, down to, you know, just behind me, like having local artists paintings in on the walls in the airport so that people can buy them if they want to before they go home. That's amazing, showcasing local artists and Bhutanese art all over the walls. It's really impressive. Never seen anything like this in an airport before. just the airport itself is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I mean, this looks quite plain where I am, but here, if you can see just over there, the walls, the pillars, everything is decorated and hand painted, just stunning. Absolutely stunning, and that just runs all the way through the airport. Even when you're leaving through the departure gate, everything's painted and decorated. There isn't anything that hasn't been thought about aesthetically here. And even just this little seating area, there's lots of them across the airport with beautifully hand painted chests and nice big comfy sofas to sit on before you leave. And there's some great shops. There's a really great bookshop actually, so if you ever come, save your cash because they don't take card in a lot of the shops in the airport, and the bookshop was really great. Loads of things about Buddhism obviously, but loads of children's books. If you've got family that you want to buy things for, I sent a postcard because there's a post box and a guy that sells some stamps. But generally, yeah, there's a few bits and bobs to buy if you haven't already bought stuff.